Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another Fresh Look Friday. I'm Laura from the Lake Villa District Library, and today I'm going to be talking about young adult biographies and memoirs. I have 4 different ones to share with you today, and they're all very, very different, very different styles. The first one is a graphic novel. If you've never read a graphic memoir, I think you are missing out. It's the style of graphic novel to tell a memoir or biography is so different and unique and personal, especially when the subject is doing the illustrations and the art themselves, which is the case here. This is by Laura Gao. It's called Messy Roots, a graphic memoir of a Wuhanese American. So Lora grew up in Wuhan, China. That may spark something in you because that is where COVID was first discovered. She was only 3 years old when she moved to America to be with her parents. And this story covers from when she was a child to currently. And she's in her 20s now. And this book, it was so intriguing. It was more than an immigrant story because later in this book, she also talks about what it was like to be an Asian American in COVID, during the time of COVID, with all the Asian hate and discrimination going on, especially being someone from Wuhan, China. I really also enjoyed the style of writing and the style of illustration in the graphic novel. It was a great story of self-discovery. She also figures out that she is gay, and how do you tell your very traditional conservative Chinese parents that? How do you come out? So she has a lot of different struggles that she's facing with, and to be shown that in this visual format was excellent. I highly recommend Messy Roots. Then I have another graphic novel, but this one's different because it's short, not stories, but each subject, it's a collected biography. So it's about a whole bunch of different women, wonderful women of the world. Laurie Halse Anderson of Speak fame is the editor of this collection, and her foreword is fantastic. I would recommend reading that, about how she was inspired by Wonder Woman growing up. And each of the subjects of this collected biography is a Wonder Woman in and of themselves. Each section is done by a different illustrator, different artist, different writer. They cover many different women, some that I knew, some that I didn't. So I definitely learned a lot by reading this. Like people like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Serena Williams, other people, Marsha P. Johnson that you might not know about, Edith Windsor that you might not know about. There's a lot of different people in here. A whole bunch of different women are covered in this, and they're little snippets, right? So the subjects, the actual stories are not very long. You can pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down. It's an easy one for that. If you ever struggle to read a whole book, this is definitely something where you can do a little bit at a time and not feel so overwhelmed and still feel accomplished. So wonderful women of the world. Next, I have a memoir told in verse. So I told you everything was very different this week. This is called Apple, written in verse. It's by Eric Gansworth, who is a YA author. You maybe have read some of his books. He is Indigenous, and apple is actually a slur, a very racist slur, meaning that you are red on the outside and white on the inside. And this book tells the story of growing up Indigenous. He starts even back with his grandparents who attended government boarding schools, how they were forced to attend and very few survived those situations. It was very haunting, that part of the book, and how that impacts him to this day, knowing that his family survived that situation. Growing up was very difficult for him, finding his voice. And this book read to me not like a biography, not like a memoir, but like a novel. You just wanted to know what happened. It's almost so unbelievable that it feels fiction, which makes it even harder to accept that it is someone's reality. Apple. Skin to the core, very good. And then finally, I have All Boys Aren't Blue, a Memoir-Manifesto by George M. Johnson. I listened to this. The audiobook was wonderful. He read it himself. George, this is really a manifesto for sure. This is about growing up being Black, being gay, and trying to understand those two identities and how that really affected his childhood and his adulthood. He grew up in a big family. There's a lot of discussion about how his grandma helped raise him. He had great parents. He spent lots and lots of time with his cousins. His family's very close. Even when he gets into college, he talks about his fraternity brothers and how they really accepted him. What struck me the most about this book was how he wrote it. And he says this many times, for other young people to see themselves. When he grew up, gay and Black, he didn't have a lot of models or people to ask or figure out things, and he really didn't know what he was doing, and he wished that he had more direction. And that's what this book was meant for someone to pick up and understand what it's like to be those things or to be different and not know how to cope or what to do or who to ask. Again, this book read like a novel to me. His childhood stories are fantastic. And it made me want to be his best friend. I just want to hang out with him. All Boys Aren't Blue. Well, that's what I have for you today. I hope you found something intriguing. We have a quite large biography memoir section in the young adult area. If none of these look good, we have lots of other options, a lot of historical figures, some current people, lots of different styles. We have graphic novels and verse, and lots of different things. So come on in, let us know what you're looking for, and we can help you find something just for you. See you next time.